Evolution power tools. The blades cut through nails, let me show you. Hello folks, Evolution very kindly sent me some power tools to have a play around with, both of which are powered by EXT batteries. We have here a jigsaw and we have here a circular saw. So before we do the unboxing, what I wanted to do was just show you them being used practically. I'm a big fan of making sure that I try stuff before I talk about it on the channel. So in a previous episode, I went ahead and used the Evolution circular saw to help build the log shed. Without the use of that circular saw, this log shed would have been a real hardship. Without a shadow of a doubt, this saw makes a big difference doing jobs like this. Look at all those lovely logs, going to keep us nice and warm in the winter. And then it was time to put together some solar panels in such a way that we could take them out camping with us and use them as a power source for the van and other projects going forward. Again, cutting that aluminium would have been very, very hard work without the use of the Evolution jigsaw. So as you can see, we've built a log shed and we've also built a solar powered briefcase, both of which are very useful for my home and garden. But what that did is it gave me an opportunity to basically get hands-on with these tools, get some practical use out of them, and that gives me some confidence in telling you that these tools are actually pretty good. So the log shed was built with this battery powered circular saw. The solar powered briefcase was built mainly with this reciprocating jigsaw. Alright, let's get into the unboxing, see what you get in the packages, and let's have a little bit more of a detailed look at the tools themselves. In the box with the power saw, I got an Evolution EXT lithium ion battery. And this is basically the same as an EXT battery. So this is a 4 amp hour 18 volt battery. And I will say, it does very well. As you can see, we chopped up quite a lot of wood with this, and it's got a lovely little feature on the back of it. When you press the button, it tells you how much power is left in the battery. Very useful indeed. Then there's a fast charger. This rapid charger here charges this 4 amp hour battery in about 2 hours. In fact, it's really useful, especially if you've only got one battery. Fortunately, I have a couple of batteries. And the good thing, as I said before, the EXT Evolution battery, which is actually branded Evolution, is pretty much the same as the EXT batteries. So if you already have EXT batteries, they're backwards compatible with this system. Right, that's the charger and battery out of the way. What else do you get in the box? Well, here's an adapter that gives you the ability to connect up a shop vac to your saw so you can suck away the dust. And then here we have a guide which gives you the ability to be able to guide the saw over a specific measured distance. And actually the pièce de résistance, the Evolution saw itself. Now, some of the features with this saw. First things first, it comes with this Evolution blade. And I will say, the blade itself is an absolute marvel. It cuts through wood, it cuts through metal, aluminium, steel piping. It's absolutely fantastic. But ultimately, it has these tiny little carbide tips built into the blade. And it spins really very quickly indeed. Because of the way this saw blade has been designed, the actual cut happens exceedingly quickly, especially if you're doing something like soft wood, perhaps this pallet, which I'll show you in a few seconds. So one of the great safety features of this saw is this rotating safety guard here. As you push the saw towards some wood, that safety guard moves out of the way. And that's a wonderful safety feature of this particular saw. On the back here, this is the output for all of the sawdust, and that's where you would put your adapter and your shop vac. Another feature of the saw is that you can change the angle of the dangle. So you can cut on a bevel like this. Again, quick release, very easy to use, and it has a protractor on it which shows you all of your angles, with some of the more popular values marked up. So the maximum depth that this saw can cut is 55mm with that particular blade on it, and the speed of the actual blade is around 4,000 revolutions per minute. Even though this saw is battery powered, there's quite a heavy motor on the side of it. So moving it around, you really do need two hands on this saw. It is possible to operate it one-handed, but it's much easier using two hands. The other thing I'll say is the ergonomics feels good. When you're holding the saw, everything feels nice and easy to maneuver. The depth of the cut of the saw is changed again with another quick release handle here. And as you can see, we're now cutting nothing, and we can adjust that cut depth quite easily. Again, a protractor on the side here with depth marked up on it. On the side of it here, we've got the tool for changing the blade, and the blade is just changed with this Allen wrench here, nice and easy. And then there's a button here which effectively stops the shaft from rotating so that you can get a good purchase on that Allen bolt to change the blade here. So a nice handy place to store that Allen wrench. Right, let's plug it in and try it out. So being portable, this really is quite useful. You just pop the battery in the back of it here, take a hold of it, and off it goes. Really, really quickly and easily. There's no speed adjustment. It's on or it's off. So very quickly we can see the thickness of this wood is only about 20 centimeters. So let's go ahead and adjust the saw for about a 20 centimeter cut. Inside here, behind the handle, you can see that protractor. So there we go, around 20 centimeters. I'm going to go slightly more than 20 centimeters and then lock it off with that handle. So then we can see how much blade there is exposed below that platen. All right, let's do a cut. Okay, so here you can see what that cut looks like. It's a very nice thin cut. And what I'll do is I'll cut another piece out of this wood here, and we'll have a look and see how smooth the surfaces are when we've finished the cut. So here's our cut then, and as you can see, it's really quite smooth, and there's very little in the way of shattered edges on either side. So it doesn't rip, it really does do a nice job of producing a smooth cut. Okay, here it is, the Evolution 18 volt lithium ion EXT cordless jigsaw. And here we can cut 60mm in depth, or 6mm of steel. And we've got an angle from 45 to 45 degrees in both directions, with a reciprocating saw blade depth of 25mm. And the weight of the device is about 2 kilos, and the speed is variable on this saw from 0 to 2,300 revs per minute. In the box you get a special shop vac attachment, the jigsaw itself, and also in the box are a set of Evolution multi-purpose blades, an instruction book, and a distance guide. With the jigsaw you get these multi-purpose blades, and what's interesting about them, that the blade is useful for cutting steel, ferrous metals, aluminium, plastic and non-ferrous metals such as wood. So what I found interesting about these blades, these teeth are spaced a little bit further apart and are slightly higher protruding at the bottom end of the blade versus the other end of the blade here, where the teeth are much lower and spaced much closer together, more like a hacksaw blade. So I would say that this end here is useful for cutting the steel, whereas this end here is useful for cutting wood. Really quite an interesting design of blade by Evolution. So how do we fit a blade in one of these? It should be quick release, right? Well, there's a little dial on the side here which says 1 to 4, and that actually adjusts the amount of pressure that's put on the blade by this tensioner wheel here. So let's get a blade in the holder. In order to get a blade in the holder, push down on the holder and shove the blade in the hole. Come on. It's a little bit tricky. So once you've got the blade in place, you can actually see this tensioning wheel in action here. And if you watch carefully, you'll see the blade move backwards and forwards as that tensioning wheel is pushed up against the blade. Let's rotate the saw around, and on the right hand side here we've got now the ability to be able to adjust the platen so that you can achieve your desired angle. And again, that's a quick release. So a safety feature of the saw is that it has a guard in front of the blade here. Let's go ahead and connect up a battery. There we go, simple as that, and see how this saw performs. That is our slowest speed there. And the harder you squeeze that trigger, the faster the blade reciprocates. Let's go ahead and cut a piece of pallet and see what happens. I will say, that's actually quite an impressive blade. That was like a knife through butter there. There is a little bit of tearing on the wood, but you know, that's just down to the blade itself. And if you wanted to just do a quick rough cut, then that is nice and easy. Fantastic. Let's do some more of that. So just changing angles a little bit here. What happens if you accidentally cut into a nail when you're sawing through a piece of wood? Let's find out. Well, no joke at all. That hit that nail and it's done nothing to it. Let's try that again. That is really quite impressive. So we went into this nail here and it's almost like it didn't exist. I will say, down to the blade technology that I know Evolution have spent many, many years designing and developing, both on the circular saw and also here for the jigsaw, absolutely magnificent. They go through metal, they go through wood, battery powered, easy to use. What more do you want? If you guys are interested in this technology, I'll make sure I put some links in the description down below. As always, thanks ever so much for watching. Make sure you give us a good old thumbs up. We'll catch you in the next video. Cheers and beers, people. Take care. Have a wonderful week and weekend. Bye for now.